Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boscheman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the forecast for the full moon that's occurring on March 14th, 2025. We're going to look at the forecast for each life path number to see how these energies might affect you. Now, what's important about this illumination is it's also an eclipse. And so this lunar eclipse is actually going to start the evening of the 13th. And will continue through into the early hours of the 14th. The full moon reaches its fullness on the early mornings of the 14th. So kind of looking at both of those dates, depending on where you live in the world. Now, this lunar eclipse, we're already in eclipse season. So at the time of this recording, which is on the 5th of March, we're already heavy into this. We're feeling these energies. And so it's, of course, going to be at its point of culmination on the 14th. Now, eclipses and why these are so important is because a lot of times they can bring in some kind of closure, some kind of ending, and they can initiate the beginning of a new storyline, a new cycle. And a lot of times we won't see what sort of is in store or what this energy is bringing about fully until several months down the road. And so again, where this might be the point of initiation or the point of culmination, depending on the situation, we might not see the full effects of this eclipse until 3 to 6 months down the road, sometimes even beyond that into the next year. So it's a storyline that is continuing to unfold, continuing to open. However, around the point of this illumination and this eclipse, we should have a pretty good idea of what that storyline is going to be. And that's what we'll kind of look at today to see what the point is, the point of your awareness, where that needs to be around this eclipse. Okay, before we get into the forecast for the life path numbers, this is a general forecast. If you would like your own personal numerology reading, I would love to work with you. You can book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. All right, let's take a look. Life path number 6. You all are going to be working with a vibration of the 14-5 for this illumination. And so it's interesting because we've got a lunar eclipse that's happening, and a full moon lunar eclipse. And so usually under this energy, there's something closing out, something being eclipsed out that is like an end of a cycle and preparing us for the beginning of a new cycle. And so this eclipse, around the time of the eclipse, you might see some things close out, fall away, and etc. But then over the course of the next, say, 6 months, even to a year, you'll see the unfolding of the next chapter. For some of you, because of this 5 energy, we could be looking at pregnancy, a birth of a child, adoption, something like that, like growing your family in some way. A creative project could come to the forefront and be sort of like where most of your time and energy is placed at this time. So if there's some kind of creative project that you want to quote unquote birth, this would be the time that you could really see that happen. This could be a time where you get some great creative insights, some ideas for things that you want to create. And this would definitely be a time where you're supported to do that. For sure. For some of you, this could be a time, like at the time of the eclipse, where these things that you've been working on or preparing to birth, so to speak, could actually come to fruition. And then it creates the path for the next chapter. So using the sort of the idea of childbirth, right? So, you have a child and everything changes from there moving forward. Like your life changes. Things you need to adapt to that new being in your life. Same thing with a creative project. If you launch something at this time and it, has the potential to be really successful under this energy, it could change your life in some way. And because at the core of this energy for you all is 5 energy, there's some significant changes that could be coming in for you at this time. But again, it could be just a change in life circumstances. But because, again, it's the eclipse, it's probably going to be quite significant. And because there's the vibration of the 14-5, there's karma involved here. There's some kind of karmic energy here that one says whatever this is will require a lot of effort, will require a lot of time and energy and commitment to, see it flourish, to see it take shape. So it's not something that necessarily is going to happen overnight. It's kind of like, when you see people become successful, you don't see the journey to get to that success. You don't see the sort of the progress that they have to make as they move towards that success. There's really no such thing as like overnight success. I mean, there is, but that's not sustainable. Usually when we see overnight success, if there's not a backstory and, where it shows the progress, it's sort of that 15 minutes of fame type thing. And they're not usually people who are, stay in the limelight, so to speak. Or if it's something that we create very quickly, it's usually something that it serves its purpose and then it fades away. But with the 14-5 energy, it brings in that need for sustainability, for longevity. So whatever it is that you're creating, whatever it is that you're building, whatever change it is that's coming in for you, is setting the stage for some kind of long-term commitment, long-term reward, whatever it may be. But it's something that is meant to be like stand the test of time and be sustainable. So it's going to take time to create this. So if it is a creative project that comes in for you around this time, this is going to be one of those where you're going to have to commit to it for the long haul and not give up too quickly. And, you will reap the rewards of that effort, and they'll be in direct proportion to the effort you put forth because of that 4 energy. But there is no sort of like overnight success here. Like if you think about having a child, right? That's a commitment for life. That's, whether you're adopting or whether you're, giving birth, that's a commitment for life. Is that child, right? And that is so aligned with the vibration of the 14-5. It's something that you will have to dedicate your time and energy and commit to, and that will change your life, whatever this is. It doesn't have to be a child or children. But it is also an invitation to find a creative outlet for your creativity, right? Because at the heart of this is the essence of creativity, and being authentically you and sharing and expressing yourself in a way that is authentically you. So finding some kind of outlet for this energy can be really powerful at this time. And I think that the outlet will probably present itself to you, like whether it's through a dream or a vision or an idea or your imagination, and it comes in. It will give you, hopefully, an outlet to be able to share your creativity, your essence, your inspired message, whatever it may be, with the world or with others in some way. So really beautiful energy here. A lot of change under this energy, a lot of shifts, a lot of moving parts. And though there's going to potentially be that chaos of those moving parts and that change, you're going to have to commit to it, right? See it through to completion, ride the wave, be adaptable, go with the flow, while also keeping your eye on the prize or the vision. For some of you, you might be changing jobs or moving house or moving overseas or, this can bring in pivotal life-changing moments. Over the course, I would say, of the next 6 months. But I think you'll have a really good idea or indication of what this change is that's going to require this commitment around the eclipse. So somewhere around the 14th. And it might be a little bit scary, right? Change is always kind of scary. And even having to commit to something long-term can feel scary. And you're just going to have to move through that and figure that out, right? So that you can achieve whatever it is that you're looking to achieve with this energy. But this energy has the potential to open a lot of doors to, again, bring in a lot of inspiration and ideas and really kind of like elevate you to see what you're capable of and where you've been holding yourself back. There's a tremendous amount of freedom associated with this energy. So breaking free from what has been weighing you down, breaking free from those barriers that have been, in front of you. This is like the gate being open and you being able to run free for the first time in some area. So it can feel incredibly satisfying in that sense. This is a great time for travel. If you have the opportunity to travel at this time, whether it be for work or pleasure, this is a time to experience life with all of your senses. So take the risk, whatever that risk might be, especially if it's like you being authentically you. If it's you sort of progressing some kind of creative endeavor, this is the time to go all in, to take that risk, to put yourself out there, to launch whatever it is you're trying to launch, to do whatever it is. Like if there's some things you've been thinking about that keep coming in that you've wanted to try or do, this is the perfect energy for you all sixes to say yes to it and give it a shot. And I think you'll be really happy with the outcome. And I would also say manage your expectations as well. Like, because it's the expectations that trip us up. And then usually, it's like kind of the saying, the higher your expectations, the further you have to fall. So it's kind of like that hope without attachment. Take the risk, but don't be too invested in like the outcome. Don't be too like, because that outcome, because it's under 5 energy, it's going to morph. It's going to change. It's going to look different than any expectation could hold it to. So you just want to be adaptable and you want to go with the flow as much as possible while also staying committed and staying the course with whatever this is. This is a time where you could see suddenly you have more influence. Suddenly you have more, people recognize you more. They're curious about what you have to offer. It's really like that deeper connection with your own innate gifts and being able to share that wisdom, being able to share that whatever it is that that you have to share. This is such a beautiful time to do that, while also maintaining the pace, right? Like taking it step by step, being methodical, having a plan. Like there's kind of like these two forces at play here between the 4 and the 5. The 4 is very methodical, it's organized, it has a plan, it's structured, it's more refined. It's going to get to the goal and it's going to get there. It's going to do a great job along the way, right? To make sure that whatever it is that it's building is solid and sustainable. And then the 5 brings in the change, but it's usually like more chaotic change, like quick changes, right? And usually the 5 brings in that instant gratification. So again, it's quick change. Something falls away and then something else comes in and we pick it up and we go. But the 4 is more about building something. It's more about continuing to show up, continuing to put in the effort. And a lot of effort will be required again because, it's that vibration of the 14-5. So there's some karma here. It's not going to come easy, whatever this is, but it will be worth the effort that you put forth for sure. And again, this translates to any area of your life that it needs to, anywhere it shows up. So in closing, I would say be open to the change, whatever change needs to come in at this time. Be open to this energy kind of picking you up and wanting to move you forward in a big way, to free you from something in a big way. But just remember, it's going to require commitment, persistence, dedication, overcoming frustration when things don't go as we plan. And if you can ride the waves of this energy, and I think it'll be with you for a while, again, because it's being initiated under this eclipse. So it's definitely a new storyline. But if you can ride those waves, you're going to be really pleased with the adventure that this energy will likely take you on. So I hope it's a great one. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.